Mountain biking and dirt biking are two very different sports. But they both have one thing in common: a love for off-road trails. If you're a mountain biker who's looking to take your rides to the next level, then it might be time to start making your bike look more like a dirt bike. In this video, we'll show you how to do just that. So whether you're looking to add some new features to your bike or just want to change up the overall look, read on for tips on how to make your mountain bike look like a dirt bike. What is the difference between a mountain bike and a dirt bike? Since mountain biking and dirt biking are two different sports, there are many differences between the two types of bikes. Geometry. The first thing you'll notice is the geometry of each bike. A mountain bike has a slacked out front and rear end, which helps the biker maneuver the trails better. A dirt bike has a more straight up and down design that's meant to help you keep your balance on tough terrain. Tires. Another difference is that a dirt bike has knobby tires for better grip on the trails, while a mountain bike often has smooth tires to keep speed up on more open trails. Gearing. Last but not least are the gears, which are spaced out specifically for each sport. A mountain bike has gears closer together so you can maintain higher speeds on the trails easier, while dirt biking gears are spaced apart further to help you maneuver around tough obstacles. Weight. Perhaps one of the biggest differences is that a mountain bike is much lighter than a dirt bike, which makes it easier to handle on tight trails. Although their frames are made of different materials, most mountain bikes weigh between 30 and 40 pounds, while dirt bikes are often twice as heavy. Cost. Of course, these aren't the only differences, but another big difference is in cost. A mountain bike costs much less than a dirt bike, but sometimes they can overlap. That's because some mountain bikes are made for tough terrain, which is what you'll find on many dirt trails. Okay, I understand that there are some differences between these two types of bikes. But what does any of this have to do with looking like a dirt bike? Well, if you want your mountain bike to look less like a mountain bike and more like a dirt bike, you probably have some reasons. Why would you want to make a mountain bike look like a dirt bike? People do this for a few different reasons. 1. Changing up the look. Mountain bikes and dirt bikes don't always have to be two completely different looking bikes. Some mountain bikers simply like the idea of changing things up and making their bike look more like a dirt bike. Or vice versa if you're a dirt bike rider looking for some trail riding. If you're itching to change up the look of your bike, then you've come to the right place. 2. Better for dirt riding. Some mountain bikers are looking to use their bikes more on dirt trails, so they start customizing them so they can get more speed on tough terrain. This is a great way to ease yourself into dirt riding, but it's something you should definitely master on easier trails first. If you find yourself having a lot of trouble on dirt trails, then maybe you need to take some mountain biking lessons or practice more before taking your bike out on tougher terrain. 3. Improving features. Another reason people want their mountain bikes to look like dirt bikes is to improve certain features. Maybe you're looking to add on jersey Brazilians so you can take your packs off your back and onto your bike for easier access when riding dirt trails. Or maybe you want to move the shifters so they're in a different location or change up the brake system so it's easier to use when riding down steep trails. There are many reasons why you might want to make your mountain bike look more like a dirt bike. But no matter what reason you have for doing it, the most important thing is that you know how to do it properly. Otherwise, any customization can be very dangerous. How to make a mountain bike look like a dirt bike. There are some modifications that can be made in order for this to happen, and doing them yourself can save you a lot of money. Actually, it's not that hard to do if you know the right steps. Swap out your tires. One easy way to make your mountain bike look more like a dirt bike is by swapping your tires. This is one of the most common ways for people to change up their bike's look, but it's also one of the easiest. First, you'll want to take off your tires and get rid of whatever treads are on them. You can do this by using an angle grinder with a wire wheel attachment or just using coarse sandpaper. Be careful not to damage anything when doing so, and be prepared for some sparks. After you've done that, take off the tubes and get rid of any rim strips if they're there. Then, take your mountain bike tires out to a local bike shop that has some dirt bike tires you can swap with them. You may have to try a few different ones before you find the perfect fit, but you'll be able to tell when you do. Swap out your brake pads. Mountain bike brakes are usually designed for more speed, which is why they're better on flat trails. But if you're looking to ride dirt trails, then you might need dirt bike style brakes instead. Dirt bikes have much less stopping power than mountain bikes, so swapping them out will help you stop on the trails a little more slowly. You can buy these brake pads very easily and put them on your bike in a short amount of time. Change up the shifters. Another way to make your mountain bike more dirt bike looking is by changing up the shifters. Mountain bikes have two types of shifters on them: the brake lever shifters and the trigger shifters. You can easily switch out either one of these types with any other. But for this to work, you'll need to get rid of your current brake levers and turn signals. You might want to take a trip down to your local bike shop before you start messing with anything too serious. Swap out your grips. One last way to make your mountain bikes look more dirt-like is by swapping out the grips on them. This can be a little bit dangerous, but it's also one of the easiest things you can do to change up your bike. If you've ever gone skiing or snowboarding before, then you already know how to do this. Add dirt bike parts. Finally, you can add some actual dirt bike parts onto your mountain bike if needed. There are a wide variety of different kinds that can be installed easily and quickly. From Jersey Brazilians to gear shifters and anything in between. How much will all these modifications cost, on average? You can buy all of these parts separately or buy a kit that has many of them in it. These kits range from $50 to around $700. Depending on what kind you're getting and where you shop. You can also make some changes for free if you know how to do the work yourself. However, be very careful when modifying your bike. You must make sure you know exactly what you're doing before trying to make any changes, because if the modification is not done correctly, it could be very dangerous for you and other people around you. Are there any risks associated with making these modifications to your mountain bike? In fact, there are a few. Changing your bike in this way could void your warranty, which means if anything goes wrong with the bike down the road, you won't be able to get it fixed for free. Also, improperly making these changes could seriously harm or kill you or other bikers around you, so be very careful when doing so, because if not done correctly, it could be very dangerous. What if you aren't confident about modifying your bike? If you're not confident at all about making these changes, then it's best to just take the bike to a bike shop and let them do it for you. It will cost you some money, but it'll be worth it because the work is guaranteed. If done by a professional. If you can't find someone that can do it for you, then I suggest you just buy yourself a dirt bike. I believe this is the easiest and the best thing that we highly recommend. My final thoughts. Changing a mountain bike to look like a dirt bike is not very hard at all. But it can also be hard, depending on how much change you want to make to the bike. You should take your bike to a bike shop and let them change it up for you, if you're not confident in your ability to do so yourself. But if you want to do it yourself, then most of what needs to be done is buying new parts for the bike. This includes new brake pads, shifters, grips, and even some dirt bike parts. You can buy all of these things separately, or you can find a kit that has most, if not all, of them included in it. Kits range from $50 to around $700 depending on what kind you're getting and where you shop.